if my life is looking differently than I thought it would, so does my success. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to St. Regis. And guess what? Welcome back to seeing my cute, adorable face. I am your host, Darissa, but again, you can call me D. And this is Say With the Twist podcast, the podcast where we talk about a little bit of everything, you know, with a little sprinkle of being saved, but a whole lot of a twist. So let's get into the topic of the day, which is, let's be honest about success right now. So get your notebook, your laptop, get your water, mine is somewhere, and let's talk about this, okay? Now, again, last week we talked about, you know, my life is looking a little bit different than what I thought it was because, you know, I had all these big plans, these grandeur, you know, thoughts of grandeur. However, I'm still on this because I did talk about success and how it looks a little bit different. But let's talk about, you know, the realities of success, truthfully, because being successful, you're going to be tired. For me personally, because I run this podcast, YouTube channel. I write books. I own my own business. I also work for somebody else. Like I'm doing. Oh, I forgot about. I have ministry responsibilities. You know, doing that over ministries nationally and internationally. Somebody would ask the question, when do you sleep? Oh, I do. I just have to schedule everything out. Then let's not even forget to talk about success, meaning, you know, monetary compensation and how, okay, I had to get my words together. How honestly, even though you could be successful, you still gotta be very creative with your budget because here in this United States of America, inflation and the orange thing are just ruining the lives of Americans. Or, you know, you want to be independent, but sometimes independence means loneliness. Or let's not even talk about, you know, our friendships are coming to an end because you are so busy that you can't even be a consistent and considerate friend. Yeah, let's talk about that. Okay, that's the thing. And honestly, I think a lot of us didn't think success was going to look the way that it's supposed to look right now, but I'm sorry. It looks great, but also we're still feeling behind because for whatever reason. Like for me, sometimes I feel behind because, again, I don't have a husband. But honestly, I've started to realize sometimes, like, in the areas of success that I find, a husband probably would not be beneficial for that area of success. But that's neither here nor there. But let's really look at what we were taught about success. On to the notes. Good career. Marriage. Homeownership. Financial stability. Emotional maturity and a super clear path to get you from point A to point Z. You know, for millennials and Gen Xers, they were told to climb that corporate ladder, okay? Stay loyal to one career for your entirety of your life. This is more so for Gen X, millennials. They were like, just pick something to get out of our face. And then stability equals security. Y'all lied to us, you sorry suckers. But, and then, oh, I forgot. I'm sorry, Gen Z, I don't mean to leave you out. They told y'all to find a passion-driven career. Entrepreneurship is the thing. And then work-life balance. Let's talk about this. In reality, success, the way they taught us, there is no work-life balance. It's go to work, die. That's it. There's no family. There's no nothing of the in between. Not a thing. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of us have followed this blueprint, and success is not what you thought it was gonna be. And let me put this twist in here. Um, this was based off of mediocre Wahite men. Yes, it was based off of them. So they didn't have to worry about, taking care of families, really. That's what their wife was there for. Like, we're still in like this 1940s, 50s era where she stays at home and takes care of the kids, and he goes out there and does everything he wants to do. But she's supposed to be fulfilled with just taking care of kids and homemaking. Now, this is not to disparage anybody who is a homemaker. If that is what you want to do, by all means, be the most fantastic, beautiful homemaker. However, in the words of Kamala Harris, some of us don't aspire to be humble, nor do we aspire to be homemakers. We want to be business owners. We want to be entrepreneurs. We want to be all of these things. And we have to find our version of success that makes us happy. Yeah. But in all honesty, the realities of success today have so many different factors that I don't think when this was originally, established of what success looks like, none of this was even a thing. It wasn't even thought of. Because let's talk about protecting your mental health. From the job that I'm working now outside of my personal business is I have some coworkers who've been there for a while, and they were like, our boss is taking a toll on their mental health. Now, I'm not going to knock them or disparage their experience. However, for me, I am not one of those people who internalizes everything that somebody does to me. I'm not. And if you are in a toxic workspace, you do leave it. And a lot of bosses and companies don't understand, why are people quitting? Why do I have such a high turnover? It's you're the problem. Because everybody else goes somewhere else, and then, they're successful, they're having great lives and doing all those things. Then we also don't talk about like success as it relates to relationships, because there are a lot of relationships out there that you have to redefine them. I've had guy friends where we've had to redefine our relationship when, they get married or they're with their significant other, and you have to, I don't necessarily want to say bring their significant other into the dynamic of your friendship, but for me personally, I would like for her to be very comfortable if I am around your significant other, which I'm not going to be, because I'm a girl's girl. I'm not trying to, rock y'all's boat or anything like that. But I want you to know I have no interest in him. He is literally like the best big brother or little brother that I could ever have, and there is no romantic interest anywhere. And sometimes we don't think about redefining these things, or, you have to, success means setting boundaries. Like, I've seen some of like the most successful people, Fortune 500 companies, things like that. They're like, I get up at 5 a.m., I'm in bed by 6 p.m. You should be if you get up at 5 a.m. and you're working automatically from the moment that you get up, or you're up at 3 a.m. to go work out, and get your day started by 5 a.m. By 4:30, you're tired and you're going to bed so that you can do this cycle all over again. And then the ultimate thing of, I don't think this success factored in, is choosing your peace over the appearance of being successful. Because for me, I am black woman. You see this? I'm black. I may be a lot of complected black, but I am blackity black, black, black. And for us, people have taught us success means being strong, helping everybody else, saving the world. That is not our version of success. Our version of success is different. For me, it's owning a functioning company that is soon to be sustainable, or that people want to buy, because I've had someone offer me over $1 million for the name of my company, which I'm never going to sell because it's part of my name. I can't give you this. I can't give you any of it. And it's also my intellectual property. I'm not giving it to you. Now, if you would like to, have a partnership with me for my name, gladly. But no, I'm not selling you anything. And I I had this conversation with my mother, and this is kind of how the conversation went. We were talking about how um, we were helping, this person with their organization, and we gave her a couple of ideas, but she was extremely resistant to said ideas. However, somebody else who has a degree, like we don't have degrees, but has a degree and happens to be white, you believe them off the bat, off top. Like, I do get sick as black people, and I can't just say black women, that we always have to prove ourselves professionally, to prove that what we're saying is true or right or is valid. Like, and especially with other black people, that is something that we could be a lot more successful if people just got their ish together. Let me say it like that, because y'all almost made me out here doing stuff. And then also, I grew up as a latchkey kid. You come home from school, you unlock the door, you stay in the house until your parent gets home. And not that I had a lot of responsibilities thrust upon me as a child, but some people who are older than me, some people who are the same age, we have responsibilities thrust upon us early. And they're like, oh, you're successful because of this. No, I'm not. I just got used to it. And it doesn't mean it's success. It really goes back to that mental health and emotional health. Like, you pushed me into a place that I was not ready to be at, but I just learned to be there, and there's that. And then, like, the real reality of it is that success does not include rest. It doesn't include peace. It doesn't include stability. It really doesn't. And honestly, most of it is you hustling to try to be as financially stable as possible. But before you even get to being financially stable, you're burnt out. And then having that emotional freedom that is always needed to be able to woosah when needed. And honestly, people want to say that this the reality of success. It's not. It's kind of like that you're chasing some luxury, and you should be chasing some peace. Because I do feel like you could be successful with rest. You could be successful with being financially stable without burnout. Because, like I said, a lot of us we're chasing that bag, and that bag is constantly running from us. And especially in this economy now, it's insane. It really is. Especially like a person starting a war, so that we would be distracted from you being a PDF file. How crazy is that? A whole full-blown war that you have nothing against these people. They just, so that we would talk about something else. We're not going to, because first off, we're not that dumb that we can only talk about one thing at a time, unlike you. And then we get into this other part of success, which is the comparison trap of success. You're seeing people buying homes. You want to buy one too. You see them traveling constantly. You want to do that. Launching businesses. Announcing these little engagements and all of that. Or, they're posting like these big milestones for them. Let me tell you something. That's just a highlight reel. Because you're not seeing how much money and time they have taken to save up money to buy a house. Because we also know in this economy, you can't buy a house by yourself. If you can't, kudos. And tell me how you did it. Traveling constantly. Right now, as an American, traveling to certain destinations, we are the enemy. You may not make it back because of your president, because my president's name is Kamala Harris. You may not make it back because of all the dumb things that he's doing. Or, if you launch a business, guess what? Tariffs, inflation, all the different things that can be done may not make it successful. And your business may collapse within 6 months of you opening it. Or whatever. Because truthfully, when I opened up my digital marketing business, I suffered for quite some time before, like, now I'm starting to build up clients, and I'm getting testimonials, and I'm getting people referring me to, people are referring my business to people that they know, and it's a beautiful thing. But at one point, baby, I was struggling to just get somebody to pay me $75, and at the time, actually $50 for a graphic. The struggle was real. And it's it's just absolutely insane. And then like I've seen people, I had a friend talk to me yesterday like, oh, how do you feel about so and so getting married? Congratulations to them. Like, quite frankly, and let's be real honest, I don't really know them like that. I wish them all the love and success that a marriage can bring, but I don't know you like that. I watched you grow up as a child because you're what, 7 to 9 years younger than me. I'm happy for you, love, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm out here living my life and enjoying as much as I possibly can. And like I said, it's a highlight moment. But because, like, even with this person, I think they were together in a relationship for 4 or 5 years before he proposed. At this point, if we together that long, that means you really don't want anything serious with me. You might, or you just could be slow on the uptake, but no, we're not doing all that. Like, I do remember when they first got together and everybody was like, oh, she's so, look, if they like it, I love it. What they gonna do? And truthfully, like I said, with this comparison trap, it starts to make you feel bad, feel like you're falling behind, feels like you're failing, and that ultimate thing, you feel like you've made the wrong choice. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes you can make the right choice and still feel this way because you haven't made the wrong choices. Sometimes it is the wrong choice, like trusting certain people or believing that people are going to come through for you when they're actually not. But that's neither here nor there. To be real honest with you, sometimes your version of success, especially the one you're comparing to other people's, is not even the version that you really want for yourself. You just see, oh, they're doing this, so they're making the money. At the bottom line, I feel like for most people, your version of success is about that bottom dollar instead of actually being truly successful. And outside of the typical version of success, there are some successes that nobody applauds. Healing from past trauma. I don't see anybody applauding that. Kudos for you for putting in the work. Doing what it is you needed to do. Kudos. Setting boundaries. Breaking generational curses. Generational patterns. Paying off debt. Because there's nobody there to clap for you because you paid off your student loans. They're not. Choosing healthier relationships. Healthier friendships. Healthier interactions with people. And no one is there to applaud you when you start over after you have been disappointed time and time and time again. Nobody was there. Now, let me pull my notes up here because I saw something that said, especially for Black women, that like things that nobody applauds for us, being emotionally healthier than the environment that we grew up in. Now, for some people, you grew up in a horrible, toxic environment, and you do not act like the environment that you came from, and nobody's applauding us for that. When we're refusing toxic dynamics, and I saw a lot of things on this, but it was just I chose dynamics overall, where you're choosing not to live with the microaggressions from racist people. You're choosing not to let some man per se bring you down because he is jealous of your successes or things like that. Kind of all those things. And then another one they said was choosing growth instead of survival mode. Like instead of just surviving and going through the motions, you actually choose to grow as a person. And I think that's fantastic and phenomenal. I do. And to be real honest with you, those are real success stories. Some of those are never posted online. Somebody finds out about it like when it's 20 years down the line and you want to report on their success. But nobody's applauding that success. And I feel like we should, like, and when I say we, it's the me, myself, and I with you. You have to start applauding yourself for being successful and your version of success. And what is your version of success? It's something that you need to redefine for yourself. What does success actually look like for you? Take a minute. Drop it in the comments. What does it look like for you? what is something that you are proud of that nobody else sees? I can say for me, it's so many things. But the number one thing is that I am proud that I no longer go from 0 to 10 billion in 0.1 seconds. I am so proud of that because I used to pop off so quick, and now it takes me a minute to get there. But that is something that I'm so proud of. And guess what? Some people don't see it because they can't see me past the version of me that they are used to, because they're still at the same version of themselves from when they first met me. And then also in redefining your success, what kind of life are you trying to build for yourself? I mean, do you want to be an overworked, overpaid, I guess CEO or something like that? Or do you want to be the CEO of your own company where you can set the pay, where you can determine everything it is that you want to do? Inquire on Mind's one of them. Like, what life are you building for yourself? And what are some things in this life that you're building for yourself, that you're redefining for your success? What is it that you're doing? And also applaud yourself because you are doing it. Because everybody can't do it. And that's okay too. And truthfully, others may never see your growth. They may never see your alignment. They may never see the fulfillment of this because they don't want to, or because they just refuse to see you past the version that you are. I have a friend. He has grown so much over the years, and people still see him as this version that we were when we were 24, 25. And I'm like, y'all, he's almost 2 decades older than that now. Even though he's just, like we're 10 years, not even 10 years, like close to 15 years removed from that person. But he's so much older. He's so much more mature. And people just can't see him past that. And to me, it's quite sad. It really is. But that happens because sometimes people cannot see you in this new growth that you have because they themselves haven't grown yet. I mean, it is what it is. But I will say, as you are going about redefining your success, choosing what success looks like for you, don't be discouraged. Sometimes it feels like things are not going to happen ever, but they will eventually happen. You just got to keep faith and keep rolling on, okay? But all I'm going to say is do what's best for you. Define success the way that you need it to be defined, and just keep rolling on. And if this helps you and you do get the success you want, please make sure you don't forget about me. I don't want to steal your flowers, but just make sure, you let us know, because this is all about building community here at Save the Twist. And guess what? We'll catch y'all next week. And when I say we, it's me, myself, and I. We'll catch y'all next week. All right. Bye.